to give a speech.
Good morning, one and all. Respected dignitaries, esteemed chairman, honorable directors, respected principal. Anurag Group of Institutions, a decade of excellence, established in the year 2002 with a mission to be recognized internationally as a research and development center with a world-class infrastructure values, its intellectual capital, and nurtures it through a perfect blend of the traditional as well as contemporary ways and means for the comprehensive development of the student's personality, so that every year the society at large is benefited with the well-equipped professionals who can significantly contribute to the value reaction process. Once again, I would like to welcome you all to the Rasayanika 2K12, an exclusive chemical fest being organized for the very first time in the history of Anurag Group institutions. Thank you.
Thank you, Amai. And now I take the privilege to call upon Chandana and group to sing a welcome song for us.
Thank you, Chandana and Group. I would like to cordially invite all the dignitaries to lighten the lamp and call upon Sirisha of 3rd year to sing a song.
sir is the chairman of AGO. He is marching ahead with a vision to make all these institutions as dazzling star in the vast galaxy of JNTU. Welcome you, sir.
And I now request Harshini of 4th year to hand over the bouquet. Thank you, sir. And I now take the privilege to call upon the beginners of this Rasayanika 2K12, the 5-member organizing committee. They share their sweat and blood for this very fest. I call upon them. Firstly, Rajshekhar of 4th year, the president. Rahul of 3rd year, the vice president. Srinivas of 3rd year, the secretary. Vamay of 3rd year, the joint secretary. And lastly, Raghuvamshi of 4th year, the treasurer. And I now request President Rajshekhar to share his experiences.
The best of mornings to you all. I'm very happy to say a few words on this auspicious occasion. We have dreamt about an exclusive chemical fest for almost 3 to 4 years now. The moment I set foot in this college, we have been had the same dream to have an exclusive chemical fest. And now we have realized it. We're so happy for that. And I need to thank certain people for this. Firstly, I need to thank my professor, Bhagavatrao sir, our college management and my faculty for helping me a lot and all of us to make this a success. And I can already see that it's already a success right now. I'm very happy to say this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rajshekhar. Thank you. Thank you, Rajshekhar. And now I take this opportunity to call upon Harshini of 4th year onto the dais to give a speech about Rasayanika 2K12.
Good morning, all of you. Excitingly, the college fest. This is something all of us have been waiting for. Firstly, I on behalf of whole chemical department thank our professor, Mr. Bhagavatrao sir, for organizing the technical fest and showing us keen elegance upon us. I thank all the dignitaries and our lecturers who have supported us. And last but not the least, I congratulate all the students out here for the teamwork. You got to showcase your talent now. This is time important fest in our college. College fest is one event students eagerly await. There is a lot that goes on behind the screen, from managing the crowd to organizing events. College fest demand a whole lot of planning. This is perfectly done by our team, that is the Rasayanika. This is a national level technical fest organized by the ISCAT student chapter of Anurag Group of Institutions. It aims at enhancing the thought of young chemical engineers and gives them a common platform to showcase their talent and skills. I am glad to welcome you to this big day for the chemical department at CVSR. Hope the fest goes well. A big fight for our teamwork first. And then again, thank you to all the teachers for helping us in organizing this event. We are happy to seek your help, and thanks a lot teachers and mainly our Professor Bhagavatrao sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Harshini. And I now take the pleasure of inviting Professor M. Bhagavatrao Garu to deliver a few words. Sir.
Good morning to all of you. Dr. Raghavan, Dr. Sainath, Dr. Rajeshwar Reddy, Professor Sridhar Rao, Professor Shyam Sundar, Professor Prakash Diwan, my colleagues in the Anurag Group of Institutions, students from different colleges, and my dear students. I congratulate all the students of Chemical Department of Anurag Group of Institutions for organizing this event under Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers local chapter. And once they came 3 months back, I just encouraged them because it's only the exposure to such event, the students, the personality gets built up. That is the reason I said encourage them. And I also thank the industries for sponsoring. And one of the industries, Sainath, is here. I thank them for helping us to make this event successful. About 60 papers will be presented in 2 days in different areas of chemical engineering, biotechnology and pharmacy. Now here, the chemical department, we are making them, molding them, even though for some of them it is not a first choice. They get it, are forced to join. Finally, at the end of the 4 years, we are making them employable. And most of the last batch entirely, they got 100% placement. That is all the staff, the cooperation and making them employable. I thank entire staff of chemical department and encouragement given by Rajeshwar Reddy for making this chemical department a most dynamic department where we organize a lecture from industries almost 15 days in a month, and our students go to industry. There is a lot of interaction among the local industries, and our students are trained for 6 weeks in different industries, and they also work on project work related to industry, so that there is a much better interaction now with the industry, institution and national laboratories. Finally, it helps in building the career of the students. I go on telling them jobs are plenty. You have to come to the expectation of the industries or national level you are employed. That's what the motto is: get the subject knowledge, jobs will come to you. And with this, thanking you all for giving the opportunity and hoping that you will do much better this time and everyone get jobs. And thank you everyone. Thank you very much.
That was really an inspiring speech, sir. Thank you. I invite Professor Ramaredi, sir, to address the gathering.
Very good morning to all of you. Ladies on the dais, off the dais, and my dear students from various colleges. Now looking at the gathering, see, I belong to science, physics, which is the career from chemical engineering. But however now, what we find in the scenario, world scenario, is that biology is also playing an important role in the pharmaceutical industry and also entering into chemical industries also, because we are all organized in the biotechnology. We have to enter into a new era of technological developments. On this occasion, because all of you are students and the teacher, I would advise you must have some aim in life. Your thought process must be focused. Focus all the time. If you want to become a good engineer, focus on that, day and night. If you want to become rich, focus, think about that over and over, you want to become rich, so that you can plan how to become rich. Unless you have this concept that of one oriented goal in life, you cannot come in life. So it is essential that you must focus your thought and your thinking and getting habitation, getting married to a good man. For all these things, you must have focused and planned life. These things, I thank the organizers for giving the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words of wisdom. And I now take the opportunity to call upon Dr. Sainath to deliver the speech.
Congratulations to the organizers of the technical fest. They really thank for giving me an opportunity to part of this kind of fest. Because whenever we interact with the students or the young generation, it really revitalizes us and gives us a lot of hope for the future. And when I was wondering about what I can share with the students and this thing, because the Bhaganta advised me, you can share that what industry expects from the students and what is the job scenario, what are the opportunities for the chemical engineers as such. Now, as far as the opportunities are concerned, for all engineers, there are no depth of jobs in the country today, whether it is chemical, mechanical, electrical, civil, any branch of it. Because normally, whenever we meet people, whenever we go to the institutions, organizations, industries, one of the common topic which occupies most of the time is where is the manpower, where are the resources? Because every day I struggle to complete the jobs on schedule, and I don't find enough engineers to do the job, even for a medium scale industry like us. So as far as opportunities are concerned, it is plenty. And normally as chemical engineers, we largely think about pharmaceutical industry, petrochemical. These are all well-known sectors where chemical engineers are established and recognized. But apart from these two or three major sectors, every industry where material is processed, changing its shape either physically or chemically, the chemical engineer's involvement is a must. Because just to give you an example, the impact what a chemical engineer can make, one of the most common industries is the cement. Day in, day out, we talk about cement industry, we will be seeing the cement industry. And I don't think many of the chemical engineers think that cement is their industry as such. Cement industry has started in India around 1950. You don't, it will be surprising to note that until 1984, there were no chemical engineers in cement industry. Mostly it was done by the chemists, and they were producing, they were selling. Because of the shortage of cement, there was no issue of marketing and everything. But scenario has changed from 1884, when they have to produce the cement at an optimized cost. Then they recognize that there is one branch of engineering which can really help them, and that is chemical engineering. And the SEC is the first organization which has recruited chemical engineers in 1984 as graduate trainees. And from Usmania, I think at least 4 or 5 people went to that college. Now that exercise just give a landmark figures actually. Before 1990, where the chemical engineer's role was limited and it was not really envisaged, cement industry was consuming around 150 to 160 units per ton of cement produced. And today, units are running at 75-80 units per ton of cement produced. Similarly, the fuel consumption, which was around 1200 kilocalories per ton of cement produced, today it is around 750. Now these figures may look right, but when you convert these units and these kilocalories into around 300 million tons of cement produced today, and see the efficiency and see the saving for the exchequer, that is tremendous. So like that, the role of chemical engineers in every segment of industry, mineral processing is one major area where chemical engineers can play a major role. Because now in Hyderabad, in and around Hyderabad, there are many companies exporting feldspar and silica, just grinding and selling it as raw material. But the beauty of these minerals is, the more you process, the more you see. Suppose a glass making silica and electronic grade silica produced from the same source. If you compare the price difference, by the time it reaches the electronic grade silica, the price is almost 20 to 25 times the silica what they use it in the glass. Now, it's the entire process of making electronic grade silica. It is the chemical engineering which is what? The removing of impurities, removing of the unwanted minerals in the silica, and the proper sizing, in the sense the controlled particle size distribution and etc. Like that, apart from petrochemical, apart from pharmaceutical, which are already known as the chemical engineering thing, every segment of industry, wherever the process engineering is involved, chemical engineering role is vital. But why industry is facing the shortage of manpower, and at the same time we see equal amount of engineers being unemployed and seeking the employment and this. That is because of the gap between what is expected and what is being given from both sides. I am not trying to say that it is not a one side because what is happening, and when I look at an engineer for any employment or any this thing, I am not looking at how many equations he is going to repeat, what is his memory problem. What I am looking at is, given a problem, what is his analytical capability, what he can, how he is analyzing the problem, how he is trying to find out the solution, and what are the steps involved. It's not important whether he has found out the right solution or not. The more important is the process involved in analyzing an issue, the analytical capability, the logical capability. That is what we are looking at. Because in industry, day in and day out, what we face is problems, issues arising out of various processes going on in the industry. And engineers are supposed to analyze the problem and give a solution, give a direction on how to attack that problem. Second thing is, industry is not doing any charity by giving employment to engineers. It is mutual. Industry requires engineers for it to run, to earn profits. Similarly, engineers require jobs for their own this thing. But normally when students come to the interview and come to this thing, most of the time I find that they are not prepared for this kind of facing the situation. I am not talking about already bright students, which normally 10 to 15%, 20%, any college will have, any institute will have, they can find their own way. But we are more concerned about the whole segment of engineering industry, because somebody has done engineering, definitely there is capability, inbuilt capability to work as an engineer. Whether he gets a 60% marks or a 90% marks, irrespective of this thing. But the kind of education being given, the kind of emphasis given in the academic institutions, and the expectation of the industry, still there is a lot of gap. And unless this gap is filled up, this kind of situation, what is prevailing, will still continue to exist. Second thing is, okay, when you are searching for the job, what you should look at. Normally, people have benchmarks, looking at their friends, looking at their seniors. I would like to have so much salary, so much perks, this should be the working conditions and this thing. And they have their own dream of growing as engineers and settling. There is nothing wrong with the dreams, and everybody should have dreams, and everybody should aim for higher salaries and higher positions, because that is the starting point. Unless there is a motivation, without dream there is no motivation. Unless there is a motivation, then there is no effort. But to realize those dreams, to realize the goals, what required is the effort which should go in also should be recognized. Because many times I see people come and they express their choice that I would like to work in design department. I suggest them, why don't you go to manufacturing department? Why don't you go to quality assurance department? Why don't you go to erection committee department? They express certain problems like working in the sun, working in the rain, all such kind of things. But basically, what I feel is, for first 5 years, 7 years of our career, we should be more bothered about the skill sets, what we are gaining by doing that job, than anything else. Because that is becoming the foundation for your future. Because academic institution has given you a degree and a basic subject understanding, basic concepts. But to convert that into a practical experience and a practical approach, the first 5-6 years are going to become a very, very vital period. So I feel that we should look at any organization which we are going to join, whether it is giving an opportunity for us to learn the different facets of the engineering involved, whether I can grow with this skill set in future. Because we should have an aim that after 15 years, after 20 years, this is what we are aspiring for. And to be there after 15-20 years, what are the skill sets required, what are the skill sets, how to get them. Whether this organization can provide that kind of skill sets or not actually. Because if it is not out of place, I'll just take 1 minute of my own experience. When I completed my PhD from IIT Delhi, I had a job in Flags India and Thermax, which are the two biggest companies in India which produces air pollution control. And there was a third company which has given me a job opportunity that was in Vijayawada, an unknown place, a new company. They just signed a collaboration agreement with an American company. They doesn't have anyone in the department. They are given me the job. And the salary offered was half of the Flags and Thermax. But at that time, that was in 1982-83, and I passed out in 1973. Almost 10 years passed, and I was not into any regular big job again. So at that time, what I thought is maybe this third company will give me more opportunity to learn, to ascertain the skill sets. Because if I join Flag or if I join Thermax, they are already global companies. They are going to put me either in marketing or design or one application engineering, one department. It takes 5 years for me to work in the department and go to the next level or the next department. So I took it as a challenge. I came to Vijayawada, joined that company, and 7 or 8 years I worked there with that collaboration. We have supplied some equipment and these things. But more than the salary I earned and more than this thing, it has given me a tremendous input about the technology and about the commercial aspects of the technology. That right from designing stage to the commissioning equipment I was exposed, and only with that confidence I started this industry in 1992, and we are here today. So I'm not trying to say that what I have done is right or everybody should like. What I'm trying to say is every engineer which is going to join a job, because I see that today software is a place where people can easily get jobs even with average degrees. But I only caution that please check up. After 5 years, that job will still remain you as engineer or a glorified clerk. I mean, sorry to use these words if somebody is this thing. But what I mean to say, any job you are doing repetitively day in and day out for years together is not going to active your skills. First 5 to 7 years, you have to face challenges, you have to learn. Only then you can aspire for a better position after 20-25 years. So with these few words of sharing my experiences, or I'll not say I have given any advice, I just told you the scenario what I look at it. And I thank you once again the organizers for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for your words of wisdom. Now I invite our principal Muthareddy sir to come on to the dais. And I request Rangmai to hand over the bouquet there.
Professor Muthareddy sir obtained his MSc and PhD from Osmania University, joined as a lecturer in the Department of Physics in 1974 and promoted as a professor in 1993. Welcome you, sir.
And I also call upon CVSR sir to come on to that.
Dr. P.S. Rao obtained BTech and MTech from KITS and REC Warangal respectively in Electronics and Instrumentation Engineering. Key person behind the council, Industry Institute Interaction. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, sir. And I now take the privilege to call upon our chairman, Dr. P. Rajeshwar Reddy Garu, to give away the speech. Sir.
Thank you very much. Mr. Rasayanika, Dr. Vijay Raghavan, galaxy of the professor sitting on the dais, Professor Bhagat, and the guest on the occasion, just now you have went to one of your own person, and our professor sitting on the off the dais, and my dear young students, friends. Good morning to everyone. I would like to emphasize on the three issues. There are many people are there, and they want to share with you. And most of the press, local press is also arrived here. Good morning to everybody. First thing, the chemical engineering department, when we started 6 years back, there were no takers even during that time. But it was headed by Professor Bhagat. Then by looking at him, actually we thought that we have to start a different course, which is actually almost everybody is closing at that time. Since then, almost 90% of the colleges have closed down that course. We know that there may not be students, but we took it as a challenge, and we have been, every year also we are discussing whether to keep the course or we have to increase the course or not. And earlier it was only 30, then we made it to 60. But in the last 6 years, we have not faced any problem for the chemical engineering. Even now, even today also, you know that there are 3.5 lakh seats. And every day they are writing that there are more than half seats are empty, and among these seats also there are no takers for chemical engineering. But fortunately, the people believed in the chemical engineering department in this college. And last time also almost it is the 85 to 90%. And this time also in the first phase we have got cent percentage. 42 out of 90. Students also every day, every time when they are coming here, actually most of the students with an idea in the chemical engineering only are coming to that group. The scientists or the engineers, sons and daughters, or the industry people, they are only half of the people belong to that, and remaining are actually because of that love to that profession or that subject. I wanted even first year students also to be here. You missed it? They are here already?
They are here.
Okay. Actually, the chemical engineering, when the people like Bojreddy College and other colleges also closed it, we thought it is a challenge, and it is also, last time if you look at the results, the academic results are cent percentage and the placements are also cent percentage. Actually, we think that chemical engineering will go to either only to the core industry. Core industry has many jobs for chemical engineers. In addition to that, many people joined the Infosys. Last time, the first results of these chemical engineers, they have already got into the many good IT companies. So if there are any person who joins a core subject, double edge, either they can go to the core industry or IT. IT industry requires just an engineer. They don't look at they want only BTech. They don't look at the prefix or suffix of those things. Maybe the CSC or IT or EC and chemical end. They want BTech. So you will be having the BTech first. Second, core industry will concentrate only on we want only chemical engineering. So you have that one. So that is why definitely last time you got cent percentage. Even the people who joined even in the first year also, I can guarantee them at least one or the other job in anywhere, if not the IT industry. So that is why this chemical engineering at Anurag is growing fast, and with the help of the regular active guidance from the Professor Bhavantrao and the active faculty of this, definitely the students who have joined here, I can congratulate them for selecting this branch. Second thing related to the organizing body, the Indian Institute of Chemical Engineering. The engineering education is strengthened or forward actually only by involvement of the professional societies across the globe. Whereas in India actually we don't have that much associations, and those are also inactive. So that is the main reason for not making fast progress in this, we feel at least. But we have actually observed that, and we have found out, we have become member of IEEE, student chapter is there, and other, my college unit is there, and IETE, CSI, and IICHE, and IST. And almost all professional bodies are actually functioning. Not only having that bodies in the college, we are making them to function effectively. So this is the one of the organization, Indian Institute of Chemical Engineering. Definitely if you increase the activities of the forums like this, then the subject and the required things, whatever the required things in the subject will be improved. So definitely I can appreciate the local chapter of ISCHE and also the Hyderabad chapter for helping them. And the people who are actively today, I thought chemical engineering means it is only 120 or 130 batch, but they did it very well. They have organized everything very professionally, and I congratulate all the organizing committee. So you can go ahead with the many programs, and this program also I feel that you can have both fun and also the subject, because you can't have either this at the cost of the other. So you want, when you are doing this one also, you should also enjoy it. Then you cannot forget both the things, the subject and the fun, which really keeps us to move forward. So once again, I congratulate all the students for making this. And third thing, actually we have professors like Professor Bhavantrao sir and other people, and also we are fortunate to have Dr. Raghavan Garu as the head of our governing body. He has been giving inputs in our board of governors. Actually, we are taking all those into the functions. So we are listening to them. We are, wherever it is possible, we are trying to implement all those things. He was heading one of the DRDO recruitment agency, then IICT now is a professor emeritus, and we are very fortunate to have him directly to talk to you. Actually, this is a very rare occasion. The people like them definitely influence all these young minds, and with their inputs to the management and also to the students, institutions like this, which are already in numbers it is small, in the area it may be small, but the results wise we are vibrant and we are almost second to none in this Andhra Pradesh. Finally, I thank all the organizers for giving me this chance to speak to you, and I hope you give confidence to all your first year students and also involve them in a positive way, not in a, because we don't have ragging and it's a ragging free zone. So that is why we must make them be comfortable, and also you give confidence that definitely the chemical engineers are better than any other engineers, and they are going to form not only your breadwinner, and also they are going to do something to the society of this Indian society and also the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words of wisdom. And I now take the privilege to call upon Professor R. Shyamsundar Garu to give away the speech. Sir.
Very good morning, Auntie. respected KV Raghavan Garu, today's chief guest of this function, and chairman for governing body of Andhra Group of Institutions, Chemical Engineering Department, and respected my guru, my teacher, Professor Bhavantrao Garu, respected principal of this college and also boss during registrar of this Osmania University, Professor Mutha Reddy sir, and Dr. K.S. Rao Garu, my senior most chemical engineering senior Professor Dr. Sainath Garu, Dr. Rama Reddy Garu, chairman of this Andhra Group of Institutions, Sri Rajesh Reddy Garu, then Dr. Sridhar Rao Garu is professor from this thing, and then other dignitaries on the dais, teaching faculty from there and other senior faculty members, and my dear students. Good morning to all of you. At the outset, I would like to congratulate all of you, especially for choosing chemical engineering profession. Chemical engineering profession is one of the best profession. Just now our Sainath told, even others also will going to tell same thing. This is the one of the best profession you have chosen. But before choosing this, many of you don't know about the chemical engineering. But after joining here, you will come to know how best this is compared to other engineering subjects. Before going into talk about this particular role of the chemical engineer, I would like to say about the Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers. Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers is an organization for chemical engineering professionals, which is its head office is in Calcutta. Here we have Hyderabad regional chapter. The Institute of Chemical Engineers with its head office at Calcutta and its regional centers spread throughout the country holds national and international seminars, workshops and meetings so that its members can learn, understand, interact among themselves. This is the main idea of establishing this institution. Some of the goals of the institution are to operate the advancement of chemical engineering science and to maintain professional standards among its members. Further, it serves as authoritative body on matters concerning the teaching profession of chemical engineering, and also it publishes journals. The institute conducts examinations, awards, donations, scholarships, certification to such persons as may be fit. Hyderabad Regional Center with its office at Lingapur Laboratory Building, it is in Himayat Nagar. We have a regional office, and we have in Hyderabad Regional Center, we have 8 student chapters have registered. Among them, yours is I think one of the student chapter, a very newly added in our student chapters. Friends, so whatever student chapters we have, total 8, among the 8, 4 to 5 student chapters are actually involving in the activities what we are supposed to do in the institution. So the active student chapters are meeting frequently and conducting seminars and technical lectures and like this technical events in their own colleges, and also they are coming over to the other student chapter institutions when they are conducting this type of seminars. So just now, hello. So when you go to their institution or when they come to your institution, what exactly they are learning, what exactly you are learning, and what sort of things they are exposing there, what sort of things you are exposing here, you can exchange together. And also when you conduct technical lectures or that seminars like this, you will come to know that the experts what they tell exactly. Friends, really I should appreciate the management, especially just now Rajesh Reddy has gone, and mainly our Professor Bhagwan Rao sir. I think because of Bhagwan Rao sir, with the help of all chemical engineering staff, might this department is growing like anything. Definitely the future will be there for your institution as long as our Bhagwan Rao sir support is there and his wishes are there to this institution. There are so many institutions that are senior than your institution, still they are not in a position to stand. So it is because of lacking advisors, lacking of experience. So in this way, you are really lucky people having a professor like our Bhagwan Rao sir. Friends, regarding profession, after completing my BTech, I joined in Bokaro Steel Plant as a management training. Once you leave the institution, really I am telling you, in those days we don't have that much knowledge what we are supposed to do when you go to the institution. There is a difference between this generation and that generation. I am talking about past 25 years back story. The difference is that those days we used to listen in the class whatever professors will tell, those notes we used to take, and then after going to the our hostel or residence, then we used to read the notes. If you read the book, the textbook, it is very difficult to understand. If you want to refer any other references, we won't get that sort of references. Nowadays, you will get a lot of books on chemical engineering. You did not read a foreign author book directly. If you read a foreign standard author book, you cannot understand it initially. If you come regularly to the class, if you listen what your teacher tell, after going to your home, if you do some little exercise, taking some reference books, and if you read it and follow your lecture notes, and then see your standard reference book, standard prescribed books, definitely you can learn things. But when I joined in Bokaro Steel Plant, after going there, what I saw, the training institution will be there, the training people will take a small class that they will tell about the industry and where they are supposed to go, they will explain. Then after that they leave us to go to there. After going to that industry, that particular area, especially in steel plant, our area is coal, coke and steel coke making and then pig iron making. They are the main areas. Then afterwards, whatever the coke and gas from gas coming out from the coke ovens, the gas has to be purified, and the gas contains a lot of chemicals. Those chemicals are effectively separated and then use it as end products. This is our role. So when you go there, if you see that plant will be coal handling, plant will be there. So you will get coal from the coal mines. The coal has to be made into different, applied the different process, grinding, crushing, then sieving, and then separate that coal into different grades. And then that you have to send it to coke oven plant. There you have to convert into coke. During conversion of coke, whatever gas will come out from the coke oven plant, the coal will burn at 11 degrees centigrade temperature, and then gas will come out, that is coke oven gas. So whatever residue is left over, that is called coke, that coke is using in the blast furnace for making steel. So like this, why I am telling all these things, for making pig iron or steel, So what you are supposed to do, you should start from the raw material. The raw material is also start from that ore. Ore will have a lot of contaminants. So that ore has to be purified, that ore has to be made into fine powder, that has to be taken at the blast furnace, that has to be purified. Purification is doing by this burning of the coal and whatever residual volatile matter is there, that is taking out in the that is coming out in the form of all contaminants in that. The residual effort is coke. Coke is using as a burning fuel, as a raw material in the blast furnace, blast furnace where you make pigment. So in the pigment, when you see the blast furnace also, it's a furnace. It's like a reactor where you have to maintain temperature, where you have to maintain raw material ratio, where you have to maintain required properties. Then only we will get the pig iron with quality. Then after getting pig iron, again you have to convert into steel. The pig iron itself will contain around impurities. So like this, friends, in the chemical technology 1 and 2, you will have nearly 20 to 30 manufacturing chemicals are there. If you carefully see, many of you take it very easy. That is one of the best subject, chemical technology 1 and 2. Whether you have chemical technology or 1 and 2, I don't know. But we have in Osmania, we have chemical technology 1 and 2. So there, every chemical product, how we are manufacturing, from raw materials to finished product, it is there. So finally, when you come out from the institution, what the industry will expect from you is whether you are in a position to have the basic knowledge or not. You should have basic knowledge. Basic knowledge means principles, basic principles you should know. See here, most of the unit operations you are studying. So what are those unit operations? Why crushing to be done? Why is that grinding to be done? Why sieve separation is to be done? Why? That means why you are reducing the particle size. This knowledge is very, very important. Otherwise, if you go to industry, when you enter into the coal handling plant, the crushing section and grinding section, over the operator or the Mazur operator who is working there in that particular equipment, since last 25 years, he will work only in that particular area. He knows everything about that coal. The particle size and grades of each grade, size of each grade, then what and in what manner that will come, how it is grinding, why it should be grind. So all those things that fellow will know, though he is just diploma candidate or as a 10th class certificate candidate. But if you don't know anything, that fellow will dominate you, that fellow will not care you at all. If you know everything, if you start interacting with that fellow, that fellow will come to know that this student, this particular young engineer knows many things. I want to learn something from him. He will think like that and he will bend and he will interact with you and so that he will learn something from you and at the same time you can learn many things from him. Blast furnace, you can read many things. You cannot see what is happening inside. But that fellow who is working on the blast furnace, by seeing the symptoms, he will tell how the blast furnace is working, whether there is any abnormality is there inside, he will tell it. So, why I am telling you, without knowing basics, subject basics, you cannot enjoy this profession. Many of the people, many of the parents and students fear about chemical engineering because they think that it's a chemistry. It is not chemistry, it is the principles based on the science. It is not exactly, you are not going to read complete chemistry, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, what those MSc people will read. These are the application oriented. You have to apply your scientific knowledge in for the production of these particular products. See, what chemical engineers are working in almost all fields which are useful to the society. No other field is there. You can take mechanical, electrical, electronics, you take any field. It is only one aspect it helps. But our chemical engineering field helps in all aspects. You take food. Food is dominated by chemical engineers. You take all chemicals, whatever useful chemicals nowadays we are using are being produced by chemical engineers. You take cloth is required for the human society, human beings and society. Cloth is producing by textile industry, though it is a textile industry, but indirectly we are helping in producing dyes and colors and other, not only dyes, producing dyes and all those things, but we are also helping them to, the effluents which are coming from the textile industry, it is very, very important aspect. See, all industries, effluents, no other people will treat it. Effluents will treat by only chemical engineers. The environment will protect by only chemical engineers. The drinking water will only protected by chemical engineers. So like this, if you go on telling friends, everywhere engineers are playing a major role. It is one of the best profession. If you know the basics, you can enjoy this profession. If you don't know anything, just like that, if you pass out with second class, nobody will care you, nobody will, you yourself will not enjoy at all. You will just away from that thing. There are some of my friends, they are doing some sort of chemical business and small jobs they are doing. Some of friends are there, after doing MTech, even they are working as operators in the industry. See, all is because of lack of knowledge. Friends, finally, you have taken more time seems to me. Finally, what I want to tell you, since from the first year till you complete your course, all subjects are important. See, maths is very, very important. If you don't understand maths, you cannot perform in third year and fourth year, especially mathematical modeling, heat transfer equations, mass transfer equations, all these things you cannot understand, even CR you cannot understand. So, chemistry. So you please think that all subjects are important. Heat transfer, mass transfer, CRE, maths, all these things are important. So please concentrate on studies, try to learn basics, and so that your future will be bright and you will be definitely in good position.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words of wisdom. And here we have Mr. K. Krishna Reddy Garu, MD of Malur Hyderabad. So thank you for coming. We appreciate your presence. Thank you.
Now I call upon Professor Sridhar Rao sir to speak a few words.
Respected Professor Rasayanika Garu, former Registrar of Osmania University, and Dr. Raghavan Garu, former Director of IACT, and to say it was a lengthy thing to say the various designations Raghavan has held, and had a very good interaction with Raghavan sir when we are conducting ChemCon at Hyderabad during 2002. And the Deshmukh Pitamaha of physics field, Dr. Rasayanika Garu, and Diwan Garu, Director of Control Group of Institutions, my classmate and professor in College of Technology, Osmania University, R. Shamsundar. And lastly, whatever the words I say, it is not enough to speak about my guru, my teacher, and whatever I am today in this position, the entire thing goes to, the credit goes to Dr. Bhagwan Rao sir. That's what I said. Words are not there in my dictionary to describe about him. I will remember one thing very well. Dr. Raghavan told me when we were conducting ChemCon regarding Bhagwan Rao sir. Those sentences I don't want to repeat because he is much elder to me, right? And as on today, he is the one person who has produced nearly 70 PhDs in chemical engineering. None has produced. Namaskar, sir. And it gives me an immense pleasure to say a few words
on the occasion of Rasayanika, which is being conducted by Anurag Group of Industries under the able guidance of the governing body chairman, Dr. Raghavan Garu and Bhavantrao Garu. As the theme of the Rasayanika says, the role of chemical engineers in the field of biotechnology and pharmacy. Yes, chemical engineers are having a lot of role to play. Fortunately or unfortunately, you might have joined chemical engineering. Before joining, you might be having so many desires of taking other branches. But once you have joined it, see that you are going to achieve the greatest depth of knowledge in that particular field. I always say to my students that let your attempts may be failure, but never fail to make an attempt. So see that, make a good beginning and see that you are going to achieve your goal and see that you are going to keep up the flag flying high of the Anurag Group of Industries. As the Honorable Secretary of ISHE of HRC, we are here to help you always if you need our help. Right? So with these few words, I always say that bright prospects are there for chemical engineers and work hard, concentrate in whatever you are doing and see that you are going to achieve your goal. Thank you for giving me this.
Thank you, sir. It was truly short and sweet. And ladies and gentlemen, we rarely get an opportunity to listen to the words of such a great personality, Dr. K.V. Raghavan Garu. So I take this time to call upon Dr. K.V. Raghavan. Sir, please.
Professor Ramreshi, Dr. Bhagavantrao, my other distinguished colleagues of the dais, several invitees to this conference, and particularly the student community here, not only from this institute but also from other institutes in Hyderabad. First of all, I am very appreciative of this effort to have this conference today under the joint auspices of Hyderabad Regional Center of Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers as well as the Anurag Group of Institutions. While ISEG is providing inspiration for this conference to be held, it is a strong support and total involvement of Anurag Group of Institutions which has made it possible to hold this conference. And of course, the tremendous amount of enthusiasm and organizing capabilities, those initiatives taken by the students community here with the help of their office bearers that has really made this conference what it is today. One thing which is extremely important for any institution to involve the younger generation in events like this. It's not the classroom events alone which are important for the student. Many times, the events which happen outside the classroom, they are equally important. And particularly organizing a professional event like this will help the students, to first of all improve their organizing capabilities and also their publication abilities, camaraderie among themselves to do the work jointly, and also it enhances their professional understanding of the particular field. So all these things are extremely important for enhancing the personality of the students. All the speakers who spoke before me have indicated one point which is extremely important. I thought I'll just delve on this point very briefly. The importance of the chemical engineering as a discipline. It is one of the truly multidisciplinary subject, and which is expanding its domain, which is expanding its coverage day by day because of the involvement of so many adjacent sciences, and which has a deep impact on the chemical engineering. I would just like to tell you an example. When we studied our chemical engineering in the early 60s, important subjects in science were only physics, chemistry, and also mathematics. Rest of other subjects are all chemical and engineering oriented. But today, to feel that these three subjects are not adequate, one should have the understanding of the biology. Because most of the process technologies in chemical industry, in some time in the future, they are going to involve biotechnology. So the biology has become another foundation areas for chemistry. Like that, this subject goes on enhancing its scope and also its coverage. It's one of the very flexible engineering subjects. So from that angle, I think you are all extremely lucky to have selected this subject for your careers. Now, another important point which was mentioned by several of my colleagues before me is the importance of industry's participation. Not only for providing the employment, but also to help the institute to have such a curriculum that which will be more relevant to the industry needs. So industry's participation in academic activities is extremely important, and that is what has been told by my previous people who spoke on this occasion. I will give an important survey done by the Indian National Academy of Engineering about 2 years back. I was closely associated with this survey. One of the questions that was posed to the academy was, why, in spite of everybody telling that there is need for industry and academic institutions close collaboration, but it doesn't take place. Many places we feel that it's not strong. What is the reason? So then we started looking at this, and we wanted to cover a number of institutions. In this survey, something like 430 academic bodies in the country, consisting of about 12 of Indian Institute of Technologies and about 20 plus National Institute of Technologies, NITs, and also the same number of central universities and almost 200 plus of state universities and 120 of the deemed universities in the private sector. So we have posed several questions to them asking that what is the problem. It's very interesting that the amount of information they provided to us shows that hardly 15% of these institutions have any initiative to encourage industry to come together. That means there is no effort made by this institution to attract the industry. Only about 15% of them have created what is called industry academic centers to really strengthen the relationship between the industry and the academic institute. So that is the type of interest I think still many of our academic institutions are taking in attracting industry. So that means we are only making lip service, but actually it is not being put into practice. And another interesting thing which we thought is very important is that in all these institutions, something like 6,000 projects have been sanctioned by the government, various departments of the government, where students are involved, faculty are involved in the projects. And the fact that hardly 5% of these projects has any connection with industry. All these projects are purely academic in nature and there is no involvement of industry. And nearly about 150-200 crores money was spent on these projects. And every year on that. So these things, this is the actual situation. Now, even for example, our Indian National Academy of Engineering, there is a program which is interesting to all of you here, particularly the second year or third year students, and who has 2 months of summer training. Now, Indian National Academy of Engineering is offering fellowship to the students as well as to the faculty, which helps them with financial support to encourage. This training is done not in your institute but outside your institutes, either in the industry or in the research institution or some other academic institute. So I, as a chairman of the governing body of this institution, I would like to mention to the board here is that this year we should make attempt to send at least 5 nominations from this institute, which I ensure that it is sent to the Indian National Academy of Engineering. It can be any branch of engineering. There is no work engineering alone. Each branch, even if you take one student who is bright and he can be sent to an institute of eminence, where he can work for 2 months and then come back. So we try to work on this and see that this sort of things are also utilized by this institute. And another point I would like to mention that today, as far as employment is concerned, the scenario has changed. Earlier, the major employer for any branches of engineering was the government. Now today it is the private sector. But also today there is another opportunity available to our country. And that is yourself can become an entrepreneur. Even at very young age. So many of you can look at this option also. For example, there is a scheme of the government of India. It's called National Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Board. Was formed by the government of India and the Department of Science and Technology. What is the objective? This particular board can fund along with industry to set up technology parks. They can also set up what is called technology incubators. I think many of you, I don't know whether you have heard about this. A technology incubator. See, for example, take a bird. Once it delivers the egg, then it requires incubation for some time, where the bird itself sits on the egg and provides the necessary heat and also necessary time required for the egg to hatch. So this is called incubation. And similarly, in the case of technologies, any ideas which are generated in the laboratory, they need to be translated into a commercial reality. For that you require good facilities, you require experts, and also you require young entrepreneurs to take these ideas. So an incubator provides all of that. And so that in the industry pays for this thing. And they take the technologies from some of the institutions, and it can be academic institute, R&D institute, or industrial R&D institute, whatever it may be. And then convert this technology into a commercially realizable form by doing the experimentation, including scale up, etc., for which the facilities are provided by incubation centers. Now, for example, under this scheme, there are nearly about 20 plus technology parks have been established in the country, and about equal number of technology incubators have been set up. I am very happy to inform you that Andhra Pradesh state is concerned. Out of this 20 plus 2040, there are about 6 to 7 of these things are located in Andhra Pradesh, particularly in Hyderabad. You have in Hyderabad a biotechnology incubator, which is one of the best incubators in the country and run by a company called Alexandria on very modern lines. What is the objective of incubators? Is apart from providing technological support, it is to help the young entrepreneurs to establish what is called startup companies, where they get further assistance from the government as well as financial institutions to set up a particular industrial line. So here, it is interesting that when you talk about new startup companies in India, we have something like in India, new startup companies of all these segments, including all the engineering branches. We have something like 2.7 lakh crores of investment has been made during the last 20 years. I'm very happy to inform again, out of these, nearly 34% of these investments are from the chemical sector. That means people have established chemical industries, new startup companies in various states of the country, and in which young entrepreneurs are involved. Out of this thing, nearly more than 60% of these chemical ventures are biotechnology based ventures. So biotechnology is one of the areas where young entrepreneurs are interested to enter and then use the technology for establishing their own new industries of that. Then comes the mechanical and electrical, where about 15% each. So what I wanted to mention to all of you here is that this is the potential of chemical engineering. Only thing is you have to keep your eyes and ears open and look at what is happening in the world and try to what's called formulate your future right from now, right from your first year, so that you have a well plan of settling down your thing. The last point I'd like to mention is that when you talk about the manpower of chemical industry, including biotech and other areas, see, there is a severe shortage of manpower of required quality and required specialization. That is what is lacking. So industry is really starving for people who are competent, people who are trained. Many of them may require MTechs, many of them may require PhDs, and particularly for research. If you look at the chemical engineers as well as scientists who are employed in the research and development agencies of the government, private sector in this country, you find that only 6% of those people are engaged in research and development. Actually, they require at least 3 to 4 times of this number, but they are not able to beat. Because a research and development assignment in any organization requires who has that creativity, who has that inquisitiveness to learn new things, and also who is well informed about the developments taking place in the world, and who can do long hours of research activity. These are all the qualities required in a person who is a research scientist. So that is one of the areas where there is severe shortage is there. But nearly 40% of these people are employed in industry and R&D. They are involved in what is called technical and commercial jobs, including the public relations, management, and also planning, and so on. And only 30% are in the production-related R&D activities, and rest of them are all specialized skills required for the research and development institutions. So what I would like to mention to all of you is that, yes, there are certain drawbacks in our system where we are not able to make the academic institutions and industry come closer. And there is insufficient job attractiveness as far as research and development is concerned. And also, one of the things which is important for this institute is also to look at is the curriculum, the syllabus that you are using. Whether this syllabus takes into account several important developments that are taking place. I think my next lecture I'll tell about that. And also, there may be need for what is called finishing courses, where after your BTech, you may require a couple of months of training to understand the industrial environment. Then you will be able to know what the industry requires and be able to respond to industry in a much better way. And also, as far as the faculty of institute like this is concerned, there should be mobility of the faculty between institutes like this as well as industry and again back and so on. Then only they are exposed to industrial conditions. If faculty is exposed, then they will also be able to teach you in day-to-day classroom. They will say that this is what industry wants. So that is also extremely important. So in all methods, I think this institute should take a lead role in the coming months to establish industry and this academic institute coordination center or a committee or a group, whatever it is, and also to encourage industry to participate in the syllabus, participate in, for example, your BTech 4th year project work. Most of them should be industry sponsored. That's where you get exposure to industry. And this institute should ensure that at least majority of these BTech project works are sponsored by industry. With these few words, I would like to again express my deep sense of appreciation for this event, particularly so many young people are here. I am encouraged to come here only because of all of you. Thank you very much for this.
Thanks a lot, sir. Sir, on behalf of all the students of our college, I promise to put your words into practice. Now I request Wrong Mike for releasing of the souvenir.
The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only a page of it, said by the great Saint Augustine. So on this important occasion, we would like to release our official souvenir consisting of 49 pages in the entire making of Rasayanika. So I would like the dignitaries to release the souvenir.
You have practiced so nicely at this.
And now, a small vote of thanks by Deepika of third year to give an ending to the inaugural function, but what will surely mark a beginning to the most excited and most awaited Rasayanika 2K12.
A very good morning to one and all, respected dignitaries on the dais, esteemed faculty members and all the students. The Chemical Engineering Department of CVSR College of Engineering is conducting a Chemical Fest Rasayanika for the very first time. The success of this fest is possible due to our sponsors and media partners. We are very grateful to our sponsors, IICHE Hyderabad, Pratishta Industries Limited, Excel Industries Limited, Avra Laboratories, City Enterprises, RAChem Pharma Limited, CR Marketing House, Claire Industries Private Limited, Xprint Solutions and Tricom Agro Private Limited. We also thank our media partners HMTV, eNadu and The Hindu. We are extremely thankful to our distinguished guests, Dr. K.V. Raghavan sir, Dr. D. Sainath sir, Professor Shyam Sundar sir, Professor R. Sridhar Rao sir and Dr. K.S. Rao sir, and also Dr. Prakash Diwan sir. Thank you sir for gracing this function with your presence.
I'll announce that the lecture will start at 12:50.
There will be a guest lecture at 12:15, so please all of you be present here. This fest is also the result of the hard work of our management, Dr. P. Rajeshwar Reddy sir, Professor Mudha Reddy sir, our Director K. Rama Reddy sir, and our most beloved Dr. Bhagwan Rao sir. I also thank our conveners, executive members of IICHE Students Chapter. And last but not the least, we thank all the students who have come to participate. I hope that all of you have a great experience here. Thank you so much.
Please produce a card which proves your identity. So please leave and register right now. The ground floor. What is meant to tell all of you is that the type of development we are engaged in the world, not only the field of chemical engineering but also other branches of science and engineering, which is totally changing the complexion of traditional subjects like chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, etc. Let us look at what is happening.
So what are the new opportunity areas? So today when you say about opportunity areas, it can be for even selecting your area of education. It also for research and also for employment. All of them are relevant. So from that angle, I would like to look at these developments next half hour. And so that this will be helpful to all of you to really look at the perspectives that are developing at the international level. One thing I mentioned in the morning, the chemical engineering alone have the ability to apply the principles of mathematics, chemistry, physics, also biology to solve industrial problems in a most efficient fashion. Most efficient is extremely important today because when we are talking about green technologies, we want very efficient technology. So today chemical engineers have to ensure that the process which they develop are also highly efficient. That's very important. That is point as to the next slide. As far as India is concerned, if you look at the chemical industry or chemical segment of our industrial activity, there are three important areas. One is called the basic chemicals, where number of companies manufacture petrochemicals, organic and inorganic chemicals, fertilizers, intermediates. And here you can see that this set of chemical industry or chemical companies, they manufacture most of the products for our own demand because we require for our day-to-day use of various consumer articles, industrial articles, as well as health and other professional activities. So this is one segment of the industry which has its own characteristics. I tell that a little bit later. Second is called the specialty sector. So here falls plastics, polymers, coatings, colorants, sealants, adhesives, lipids, cosmetics, food and others. So here if you look at this segment, here this segment means products which are required by the market, required by the user. For example, let us take an example where many of you must be interested is in the connected with the what is called even cosmetics. You see a lot of advertisements in the TV, newspapers. So this industry, for example, there is a fairness thing for both men and women today. But what is that they have done? They have developed two new products. One product suited to the man, other product suited to the woman. I think few years back, about 5 years back, you don't find two products. You always find that fairness which is only for women. So now, that means what has happened here? People have developed new product which has some bias towards the males. And then say that this is different from females. And so that's how the advertisements go on. So that means these products have been developed specially for your requirement. So all these things coming under specialities are of that form. For example, take soap. There are several soaps where you have neem. Many of you feel that the moment you have neem in that, it is natural product, so that it is very good for your own skin as well as health and so on. But what is it they are doing? Basically this soap, it's also what is called a fatty acid, like any other soap. But only thing is, they put a little bit of neem to give that flavor that is from natural product. Like that, these products are all developed as per the consumer requirement. So here is the one area where one has to do a lot of research, develop these new products as per the market needs. Last one is called knowledge intensive. Knowledge intensive, under that falls pharmaceuticals, pesticides, biotechnology. Reason is that all these products require high knowledge to develop it. For example, if you want to develop a new drug, it requires tremendous amount of new knowledge of various disciplines and to make it run. So that requires much more funds than specialty sector. So these are the three distinct sectors that we have in this country. Next slide. So I don't want to go into details, but what is important here, you see that the amount of investments that have been made in this country since last 1991 to 2008 about 72,000 crores of investment was made in the chemical sector by the government, private sector, as well as foreign investments and so on. Out of that, nearly 57% of the investment has gone to basic chemicals. And only 14% has gone to knowledge intensives and about 29 dead. Now look at the production. In terms of tons of production, you find that basic chemical sector produces something like 69,000 million tons efficiency in the country. Whereas the specialty chemicals is about 14,000 million tons. Whereas in case of knowledge it is only 1 million tons. But look at turnover, that is the amount of money generated by the industry. Industry generated about 2,81,000 crores during this particular period. Out of that, 47% has come from basic chemical area of so much investment. But without much investment in the case of knowledge intensives, we got about 35% of that. So knowledge intensive chemicals area can generate a lot of wealth from here. And it can also generate products which are of international importance. Similarly, in the form of exports. After all, for total exports of chemicals, 28% only for basic chemical. Knowledge intensives today are exporting about 54%. Which most of the products that we make in this country, like pharmaceuticals, they are all being exported. Because these are the type of chemical structures that we have. So if you want to enter any of these fields, you should know what these fields are doing. If you want to enter pharmaceutical fields, yes, you should be able to do research of high order. If you are able to go to specialty chemical sector, you have to do research of generating the practical products for the consumers. Like that, whereas in the basic chemical sector, you have to do more process oriented activities. Next slide. Now here, what are the newly emerging employment opportunity areas for chemical engineers in the world? You find that the traditional chemical sector has only 30% of the jobs. That is it, like petrochemicals and fertilizers and these sort of very traditional chemicals. They are only 30%. There are more jobs outside that. That is, you have, for example, environment related jobs, environmental science related jobs. For example, many of the companies work in companies which make environmental equipment, which also make environmental process treatment plants. So these are the areas which are almost 1/3 of the chemical that is occupied by the environment. Electromaterials, these are new things. For example, electronic materials, electromaterials, that is 8%. And engineering services, then IT services come. The world as a whole is about 8%, whereas India 8% is very high. Food processing is about 11%. And biotechnology is 10%. And last one is very important, this can be very fast, is energy related, energy related jobs. That means people who are setting up new energy plants, for example, like your windmills and also solar powered plants. Those areas are attracting more jobs because they are expanding. So like that, if you look at, you cannot say that traditional chemical engineering areas you are going to get employment. You have to get employment in other areas. Next slide. Now here is only a public expectations of chemical industry as well as chemical is also extremely high in the sense that most of the products required by public, customer oriented products are all coming from the chemical sector. So they know the importance of the sector, but at the same time they are also afraid of the sector because of the pollution, environmental degradation that is happening in the country and in the world. So they would like this sector to produce feedstocks which are sustainable, which are environment friendly. They would like to use processes which are again environment friendly. And also they would like products which are also environment friendly, not effective. For example, many of them are very particular to use any product of cosmetics. You would like to see whether it has any effect on secondary effects on your skin and so on. So this sort of things public are doing for this sector. And also in the case of new molecules like drugs, public wants some very intelligent engineers and scientists to develop new molecules for them. For example, in India, we have diseases like malaria, Kala Azar. These are all very specific diseases for for tropical countries. And there are not many drugs in the field. If many of the big companies, they are not interested in the field. So here, they want our chemical industry, our scientists, develop drugs which are useful for us and which are also at affordable costs. So this side of public expectations are also high. We have to keep them in the company. Next slide. Now, as far as the global environment trends and chemical engineering education, this is what I want to tell you, is that there is a decreased demand for traditional chemical engineering. So people are now going for chemical engineering, applying to so-and-so, applying to so-and-so, that is what people want. So you have environment energy engineering, that means chemical engineering, specific emphasis for environment and energy is going to be an extremely important area for enrollment throughout the world. So that is it. Second is, there are also growing enrollment for chemical engineering applications in electronics, in food, in personal care products, biotechnology, as well as pharmaceuticals. So these are the areas where even enrollment of chemical engineering students are taking place in the world. Now when you look at our country, you won't find chemical engineering with so much specializations in the food area. Because today, you have the food technology is there. That comes from the last category. But there are so many electronic chemicals today, but there is no special chemical engineering course for that. So like that now we have to think all the institutions which run chemical engineering, you should think about these courses which are more specific to the user needs today than it was, not the traditional chemical engineering. Next slide. So here, when we talk about the most areas where we require multidisciplinary, that is one important thing all of you know. As chemical engineers, we should be able to work with other disciplines, deal with other disciplines. So here, the areas like green process engineering, it's a highly multidisciplinary. Chemists and chemical engineers have worked together. Similar nanotechnology, biotechnology is there. In the case of biotechnology, we have worked with biologists. So like that, you feel that most of the areas are multidisciplinary, you should have that knowledge. You have good knowledge of biology, chemistry, physics, and mathematics. All of them are extremely important. There is also a feeling that these are not required for engineering subjects. But as far as chemical engineering is concerned, you do require these subjects right in first year, second year, or even in third year. Next slide. So it's organic chemicals. Chemical engineering should have the ability to design, develop and produce products of high market demand in close collaboration with chemists and biologists. So if you join a company with specialty chemicals, you will definitely be working with biologists and chemists. For example, take cosmetics. You will be definitely working with biologists who are specialists in skin care. You will also be working with chemists who can develop the formulation. And you will then have to develop the processes. You have to develop the formulation processes as well as basic chemical process and ultimately translate those ideas into commercial reality. That's what we will do. Next slide. Now here you can see that in terms of India, now one of the areas which is very fast developing in India is the pharmaceutical. I think many of you are aware, so many pharmaceutical companies have come out. Even they have set up companies abroad, they even bought companies abroad. So Indian pharmaceutical companies are doing very well today. Now these companies, if you look at their growth, it's in 1974, if it is that growth, revenue earned is about $21 billion US. Now today they are earning $13 billion. $13 billion is multiplied by 13 multiplied by 5,000 crores. So that is the type of what's called earnings these companies are able to make today in a matter of last 30 years. Next slide. Of course, here I don't go into details, but what is important here is that in the pharmaceutical field, so far, chemists and biologists have worked together to develop a product. But there is a role for chemical engineers in taking these products forward. For example, there what is important is, if chemists and biologists work together, first of all, what they do is, they try to develop a new pharmaceutical product which can cure a particular disease. See, every disease, behind it is our body, there is a certain protein or a mixture of proteins responsible for that particular disease. The moment you have the disease, you find that the content of those particular proteins in your body increases. If So by putting a drug, what happens is it interacts with that protein, ultimately it removes that protein from the system, and then ultimately it cures. So here, chemistry biologists try to see that which molecules do that job based on both chemistry and biology. That's not discovery research. But role of chemical engineers come here in the form of developing this process. Once you know the molecule, then a chemical engineer sit and say that how do you manufacture this molecule? What process should we use? What should be clean technologies? What should be the most efficient way of converting them? All these questions have to be answered by chemists. So, the drug development team is also looking at chemical engineering. We will always be looking at this process. That's why it's very important for you to watch the chemists and biologists whenever you want to go pharmaceutical field. Excellent. Now here, as far as growth is concerned, see, human as well as plant and animal healthcare, I think it is one of the important areas for India where we have to have drugs. In the case of plant, it is nothing but pesticides and agrochemicals. In the case of animals and humans, there are veterinary drugs and human drugs. Then next important product is the agri-seeds. Predominantly agricultural oriented operations. Agricultural engineering has to play an important role. And also in strategic areas like defense, space, atomic energy, we have a very important role has to be played by the chemical engineers. So here you can see that the range of activities, that industrial turnover is very high and their opportunities for chemical engineers are also very high. Next slide. Next, let's keep this. Next one. Okay. Another interesting aspect about it, all of you must have heard about chemical refineries. If you look at any refinery, what is that they do? They take the crude oil, they fractionate it into kerosene, diesel, then petrol, and afterwards they also produce gas side by side. They have ethylene, propylene, diesel, all these are all the basic stocks that are used in refineries. And then later they go to petrochemical complex to convert them into more industrial products. So what we call it is, we always call it petroleum refinery, which takes the crude oil and gas and fractionates them into important components. Now, there is a similar concept called biorefinery system. So here the starting material is not crude oil, starting material is biomass. And so take the biomass and then you also fractionate it as you are done in the case of petroleum refinery and produce products and byproducts in the same fashion. So here also you can get a variety of products, but all of them are starting with the biomass. Many of these processes are environmentally very friendly. So biorefinery concept is that tomorrow you find that many of you may find for employment some of the biorefineries which are coming up in the country. This first biorefinery in the country has come up in Mumbai. I am associated with the scientific advisory committee of this one and chairing the committee to advise us what sort of products we should go, what sort of technology we should follow. So here, this concept of biorefinery is very interesting, and future many of you by now you graduate, you find that more and more of these units becoming. See, for example, this company, which is calling itself as a Godavari biorefinery, what it does is, its starting material for it, biomass is sugar cane. So sugar cane they crush it and then get sugar and molasses. Molasses goes for fermentation to create alcohol. From alcohol, you have got ethyl acetate and variety of chemicals in the cake. Then, from the sugar, after the extraction of sugar, then you have the baguettes. From there, again, they go for what is called steam explosion process. By doing it, they break it into three, that is fractionation process. One is cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin. The moment you convert them, there are a number of byproducts coming from there. The different technologies are there. And also even wax. There are every sugarcane plant you find wax of sugarcane. And so the sugarcane wax is also extracted and then you get a number of products which are wax based. So like that, if you see this refinery, it has got number of products, byproducts, and also co-products, and all of them starting with only sugarcane. And also it produces its own energy by using part of its biogas for energy generation. So like that you will find that these sort of new concepts are coming. Many of you must not have heard in your textbooks. Actually your curriculum should also not talk about biorefineries instead of chemical refineries also. Next slide. As far as nanomaterials is concerned, I'd like to mention that nanomaterial is another very potential area for chemical engineers in the coming years. So nanomaterials applications today find it starting from analytical tools, specialty materials, also consumer products, healthcare, electronics, defense systems, photovoltaics for energy generation, and also semiconductors for energy generation. So every field you find that nanomaterials have to play a major role in making them more efficient, more and less in quantity but more effectiveness. So all these things people are trying to do. So as far as nanotechnology field is concerned, this is another field where how do you develop these nanomaterials, how do you produce these nanomaterials at a large scale, and how do you scale up these technologies. So all those things technologies have to evolve. So nanotechnology is again a very potential area. See, for example, certain companies, just I would like to take one example. All of us have actually, we have our shirts and sarees and so on, we give it for washing. Afterwards, we do it for what's called ironing and so on. Now, it is found that using some of the nanomaterials along with when your textile products are made, now it will help you. First of all, it doesn't accept the dirt as quickly as the present textile materials. That means the thing will not get dirt quickly. And also once you fold it, it will not hold its remains straight. So this sort of characteristics you can get in your day-to-day wear. Like that, every field nanotechnology has very important role to play. And so this is a very potential area. You should know what is nanotechnology, and also what is nanomaterials, how you make them, and so on. Next one. Yeah, go next. This is already covered. One of the important things I mentioned, I would like to mention here is that as far as India is concerned, a lot of non-resident Indians are showing interest to invest in this country. They would like to come in the technologies and produce it here for the first time in the country. And they would like to invest partly, and they would also like to have a partner from our side. So here, we find that these are companies which can encourage some of the new entrepreneurs. You can be part of it, like you can be part of this non-resident Indian enterprises which are coming in a very large scale, particularly in areas like biotechnology and also pharmaceutical field. So this is also going to be one of the major investors in the coming years, provided there is good response from our side, the Indian side, to invest along with them. Otherwise they are coming with their new technologies, new products, and also some amount of investment. But they require counterpart investment from our side. Next one. So finally, if you look at chemical engineering, they can make notable R&D contributions to develop new process products of global market acceptability, and also the horizon for you to explore in the coming years is going to increase but not decrease. There's a tremendous potential to be prolific in scientific engineering. Open your eyes and ears, look at what is happening, and then, for example, take some of the subjects in your for the courses itself, for electives. Some of these things can be your electives. Yourself can select. Any of them electives can also be made to web learning. So these are the initiatives you are taking from the student side, and then see that yes, you require this sort of knowledge, and you have to equip yourselves in these 4 years before you become an entrepreneur, very important in an organization and public or private sector, and enjoy your life. Always doing something new. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the presentation. I would like Bhagunthra sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Raman. and I hope our students have heard what are the opportunities for chemical engineers. There is a tremendous potential provided we know the subject. Knowledge of subject is most important. It is not the knowledge you get in the university. So try to get the subject concepts, then jobs will come. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rao.
Next program.
But we want to speak fine, but maintain the time limit to within 4 minutes.
No, how they can maintain it? They more than.
No, somehow, cut down 1 minute per person. If there are 3 persons, 1 minute per person. The main objective of paper presentation is how you are presenting yourself, what you are going to present. Don't take, if there are 3 participants, then each participant will get only 1 minute. So total amount is 3 minutes. Without wasting much time, go ahead. Maybe somebody many minutes you have to wind up. You have to say games and objectives, introduction, objective, methodology, result and conclusion. That's it.
First we know what is a virus. Virus is nothing but a small infection that can replicate only in the host cell. Like it can affect any of the organisms, like from plant to animals, from bacteria to the arachnia. Now we are mainly concentrating on the HIV. HIV means it's nothing but this human immunodeficiency virus. Human immunodeficiency virus is going to cause AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. This acquired immunodeficiency syndrome is a condition in which there is a progressive decrease of the immune activity in our body. So the discovery of this, it has been clinically discovered in 1981 and it has been named in 1986 by 2 great scientists, that is, as you can see, that is Robert Nano and see this, it's having 2 types, that is HIV1 and HIV2. HIV type 1 is the more frequently caused and HIV type 2 is very only active. And coming to its active conditions and clinical data sheet that we all know, the immune system will be decreased so we can get any of the diseases, or we can also see some other diseases in our body. So first you see how we are going to do this experiment. First we are going to take the virus. That is how we are going to take this virus by filtration at 0.45 microliters. We can filter it and we can take out the virus. And cells that are used here is magnified cells. Magnified cells in the sense they are nothing but hello cells, which have been absorbed from the patient who is suffering from cervical cancer. We have just absorbed it and we have just added to that beta-galactosidase to the deliberation of the antibody. Next is electrodes and application of electric potential. That is, we are going to use here 3 electrode system in which we are having 3 electrodes. One is silver electrode, that is AgCl, and medium tin oxide electrode and platinum electrode. So here AgCl and platinum electrode are used as reference electrodes as well as powder electrodes, while indium tin oxide electrode is the main part. So this is the indium tin oxide electrode that we are going to use, and this is 3 electrode system that we are going to use. The methods that are going to be used here is multicellular activation of galactosidase, that is MATI, to call it as, assay, then HIV 324 antigen assay, then measuring number of damaged cells by using the ELISA test, cell proliferation assay. The first one is marrying that we can see here. This is nothing but first we are going to take the electrode onto which we are going to keep the virus on it by the help of poly-L-lysine, and this poly-L-lysine is used here as a binding agent. Onto that we are going to send the virus on it, feed the virus onto it, and we are going to keep it in the electric field that is produced by AGCL and platinum.
Yes.
This is HIV.
Keep silent. Keep silent. Otherwise it will stop.
By the manual assay we are going to get a solution of the culture media. That culture media we are going to do the assay by this. Because we are going to take it in the microfuge tube and we are going to hydrate it in microfuge it for 20 seconds, take it out, then we are going to culture that media and then we are going to go for the assay.
Yes, any questions? Come to the conclusion.
Good, I am coming to the experiment. See here we can see the experiment, how we are going to do it. First we are going to take the ethylene oxide electrode and there we are going to add 1 ml of 0.1%. By this experiment we can make sure that the virus can be killed in the lower electric potential that is produced by the cell, but we could not make the estimation that how it is going to be killed and how it is going to make sure that it is not going to be killed by the electric produced by the cell. The use of this experiment is we can know how we can make sure the lower drug from this.
Yes, any question?
Which number? Given 3 minutes to finish your presentation. After every 2 minutes, you get a bell that implies that in the next 1 minute, you are supposed to finish your presentation, get your conclusion, and wrap it up. In the next 2 minutes, you will be asked questions by participants here as well as the judges. In the 2 minutes, you are supposed to finish up your findings as well. Thank you. Please note that the first bell that you get is to conclude in the next 1 minute.
The next part of the
Lab scale You'll have pockets where mixing is not taking place or something is missing out. But in laminar mixing, we have embodiments or partial substrates mixed together, and there's a uniform distribution of flows. So everything is uniform, but that is what we require. What's the advantage in using microreactors is the iron fast. Everything happens in microseconds. Just like you have a micro channel of business, enters and I particularly appreciate we have micro mixers and micro heat exchangers. Micro heat exchangers, you can just stack up different micro channels in a stack, and liquid can be stacked alternatively, and you get a micro heat exchanger. They are multi-functional. You can use them for reactions, you can use them to electric exchangers. Similarly, we can get positive overcurrent to counter current operation. Similarly, we can get some channel. So, yeah, we can place one two sheets related to unstructured sheets related to nitrogen matter and annual nitrogen each other and make a reactor. So all these advantages in mind, microreactors give you a very easy way of production and environmental friendly because the hazardous reaction occurring in a very large scale is difficult. We can just grab them to microreactor stage, and it is a great tool and we can research further.
Yes, any questions?
It's used in pharmacies to carry out reactions with toxic agents, or we can use it in liquid extraction as well, because there is enhanced mass transfer, we get a number of benefits, and it's used in membrane reactions,
Next.
Manoj Kumar and Roshan Yadav from CVSR. The next participants, K. Shashak and Noor, Chemical and Nanotechnology. They are from CVSR College. Please go ahead and talk.
Okay, first of all, what is biotechnology? Biotechnology is the use of the living organisms, the living systems, and the living process for the human development. And biotechnology has very wide range of applications. Biotechnology can be used in agriculture, industrial, environment, forensics, etc. When we come to the medical field, it is useful for the production of the recombinant DNA and also for the defining the genetic defects and for the correction of genetic defects. But we can't discuss other topics over here. Recombinant DNA. This is the technology of combining artificial intelligence DNA. Here we include the proteins and the artificial create unlike DNA. The reproduction of the artificial DNA is called DNA project. There are two types of DNA projects. Reproductive and DNA. This type of cloning genetic by using the reproductive we can't get the organism, we can We can use in the cancerous cells to replace the organ. And also in the tissue transplantation. This is the alteration of the genes. By using genetic engineering, we can produce these fruits like banana, which are resistant to diseases and also which are having the medicinal values in them. And also they can produce the plants which are resistant to the heat, and also which are able to tolerate high temperatures. And the biotechnology we can use also in the industrial engineering like the recovery of the metals and also production of the they were testing for some bacteria that started with toxic conditions or not. That gave the bacteria over and very toxic bacteria like gold fluoride. It has not only survived by what it has purified the gold, it has produced the 99% direct of gold.
Next slide, please. We'll have a just like
next is biofuels. And also we can use the biofuels for highway. Fermentation technology is to provide the metabolism of microorganisms and enzymes. Bioregulation is the metabolism of proteins. Based on the bioregulation, we can use the bacteria. We are here to discuss about solid oxide fuel cells. What is the need of a fuel cell? What is the need? What is the need of a solid oxide fuel cell? Fossil fuels are non-renewable fuels, and after 2020, we may have a shortage of fuel cells. We may have a shortage of fossil fuels. So we require solid oxide fuel cells. Next slide, please. Previous one. We are going to discuss about what's a fuel cell, what is the mechanism, what is a solid oxide fuel cell, how is it different from fuel cell, advantages, its application and research. Next slide. A fuel cell. A fuel cell is the one which converts the chemical energy present in fuel to electrical energy in the byproduct of work. Next slide. This is the basic mechanism of fuel cell. There are four major parts: the cathode, anode, the electrolyte, and the electrolyte. Fuel enters into the anode. Here, hydrogen is stripped of its electrons. The electrons move through there, forming a current, and they move towards the cathode. Cathode oxygen enters. It takes the electrons, it gets reduced, and this oxygen moves into the electrolyte, where it reaches the cathode. Here, reaction takes place. Hydrogen mixes with water, giving hydrogen mixes with oxygen, giving water, and excess fuel is sent out, and the electrons move, constituting heat aside. Next slide. There are two types of solid oxide fuel cells. High temperature fuel cells which work at 500 degrees Celsius, and the low temperature one works at 10 to 60 degrees Celsius. There are four important parts even in a solid oxide fuel cell: anode, cathode, electrolyte, and electrolyte. Anode is the one where we use thermate of nickel and light of electrolyte. Here we use nickel mixed with deuterium stabilized zirconia, where it forms a compound which is thickest and it's very strong, and it is a very good electrical conductor. And then its thermal expansion compatibility is very high. But the only problem with this is nickel combines with hydrocarbons present in the fuel forming graphite. Here, this will be a devastation, and research is going on so that we replace the nickel panel. Then going to the cathode. Cathode is the place where oxygen enters, it gets reduced and moves towards the electrolyte. The thing we use here is lanthanum, strontium, magnetite. It has a similar particle coefficient as the electrolyte, and reaction oxide triple phase bonds. hydrogen and carbon monoxide enters, they react with oxygen coming down, they are reduced, then it moves to the electrolyte, forms water there, the electrons keep on moving, and this is how we generate power. This is the new way of generating power from now on. Now the fossil fuels get exhausted. Next slide.
Power generated by fuel cell is typically 100 kilowatts, but for practical industry applications, we obviously need a lot more power than that. So for these reasons, physical interconnect is similar to the number of cylinders in an engine would give over power. So using an interconnect, number of fuel cells is generate the required amount of power. Mostly we use ceramics or metals to form an interconnect. But metals, they have withstand the oxidizing atmosphere as well as the reduction atmosphere at high temperatures of the cathode and anode. This is a nuclear structure of a fuel cell. The anode, cathode and electrolyte are wrapped in the form of a tube and air passes to the hollow space, whereas the fuel passes between the anode and cathode. This is a planar region of a fuel cell where we stack the anode, cathode and electrolyte and the fuel and the air passes the local channels at a non-resistant fuel typically takes CS4, which is supplied to the fuel and air is supplied from the water. Then after exhaustion of the fuel, the excess of the fuel is recycled to a steam reformer, where the CS4 is stripped out and again recycled back to the fuel cell. And the steam can be used to generate electricity.
Show me the last thing. Yes.
The challenge here typically is the handling of the fuels and develop commercially viable and efficient solid oxide fuels. And lot of which has to be manufactured. So currently this is going on to yes, I call it small scale experiment.
Not in India, in other countries like US. They are using for vehicles. They are using for vehicles. Next slide.
The next participant in the workshop is BTS and MD Farouz. Please provide your soft copy.
Nanotechnology stands to produce various significant applications in various diverse fields like medicine, physiology, and pharmacy. Generally, nanosensors, these are very small sensors at a very atomic scale whose size varies from whose size is in nanometers. These sensors can be applied in various fields, including medicine. To apply them in medicine and physiology fields, these sensors are that they should interact with cells and molecules at atomic level, and they should produce the analyze the as to user friendly. The data is usually user friendly. Data nanosensor. That's the way
And these sensors are very sensitive. It detects particles and every particles and the types of
They are toxic in nature and they are causing many diseases. Actually, they are causing many diseases from man. We are you want to remove this from natural water. Aqua solutions are coming from the textile industry, aquatic industry, various industries. Preparation of rices which is obtained from rice beans are crushed and sealed up to 180 crushed particles, and they are washed with cold water and dried. Modification of rices. In modification of rices, rice which is crushed is treated with HCl solution, water normal HCl solution, and modified. This bromine solution, for 50 ml of bromine solution, 0.5 grams of rices is added and extracted and kept aside for 24 hours.
Last. Conclude yourself.
Actually, there are so many chemical methods like adsorption and electrodeposition. So there are so many methods for it. So our aim of this present project is to have a low cost ethanol such that it removes this chromium 6 ions, which are very highly toxic metals, which are present in so many industries which produce these ions, and they are accumulated in our body in the range of 50 mg, which are very toxic and they can trigger our cancer as a cancer. So our aim of this presentation is to develop some low cost ethanol, mainly rices, such that these rices can remove this chromium 4 ions effectively up to 90%. Suppose there are so many methods like this chemical methods which can remove this up to 100%, but these chromium 4 ions which are really cost effective and they are cheap, which are easily available and easily available in abundance, which can remove this chromium 6 ions to the maximum extent of 90%.
with the cancer toxins are released in the blood, so that cancer cells and healthy cells are also equally affected. So you can see the dead cancer cells and dead non-cancer cells, all the toxins. Also the healthy cells are being affected. So the anti-cancer treatment, antibiotics are used to the cancer cells, and only cancer cells are being kept, leaving the normal cells and difference between the traditional and anti-cancer. Or the least side effects in the organism. Here diseases can be cured without making operations.
Who is the next person?
Next part is the Kumar from Senior College. A small announcement: people who are interested in photograph can come tomorrow at 12:30 to 1 p.m. and you should bring your own cameras.
By various ways, the more you
don't want to see slides. You want to be what you are doing.
You focus on some important
I will tell only one slide. You don't want to एक slide बताओ जिसमें important these 50 slides yes start you will come here slide
over your presentation shows the values and environment effects on biodiversity and types of vegetation and communication. After your presentation, by using them, you can reduce the pollutants and the more
concept of bioremediation is like please go to bioremediation. Yes.
Bioremediation is using the microorganisms in the sense of bacteria, fungi and protozoa. We have to reduce the pollutants which are causing our human effects and animals, etc.
What is bioremediation?
Using the microorganisms, we can reduce the pollutants.
Reduce other pollutants.
Yes. And contaminants which cause the more sources of the pollutants are heavy metals, essence, cadmium, chromium, and further we have to reduce. So we use these algae and bacteria from that. How the process will take place in bioremediation. First of all, we will use the microorganisms and we have to give us some energy to microorganisms. They can develop and from development accept that, and we have to create optimum pH and temperature for growing for
Examples of this.
Thank you.
Example of bioremediation.
This slide is an example.
There are two kinds of these bioremediation, in situ and in situ bioremediation. And what is it? In situ means the pollutants we can reduces within the area where the more contamination is there. By using, we have to choose the microorganisms from their soil. We can't go and execute based on more pollution. We have to take that one outside area. So the doctor making outside. Executing the process is done outside of this type of swimming
Somewhere else. But you are taking microorganisms in that place.
no, there is some process that
have another option is grown trees or plants on polluted areas. Why? Because in polluted areas, microorganisms are able to grow up some plants. We have to increase the plants. The water contaminants in the plant will absorb those and they will reduce the pollutants which present in the lower area. So uptake by the roots and the contamination will be reduced by the phytoplankton. For example, it provides the technique to clean up the biodiversity by natural biodiversity, but because natural then used by the microorganisms which we can do, but naturally after the microorganisms. And there is no biodiversity is also very important. By this process, we have to clean up the pollutants which are creating pollution out to our environment. Limitations. In the same, there are many disadvantages of this limitation because by doing this one, it may cause the there is a process to reduce the concerns of not the person's fight. In principle, we can reduce this by landfill, by giving
Next participant is Sanjeevani and PRT Priyanka. We are very good. As a people here, Lavanya, Sarika.